Have you ever wondered why we speak so many different languages? What if I told you it all started with an audacious plan that ended in divine punishment? Join me as we delve into this fascinating story, exploring the unity, the ambition, and the divine intervention that changed the course of history forever. Ready to uncover the secrets? Let's dive in. The world after the flood was a place of new beginnings. Survivors, clinging to life amidst the debris of the old world, found themselves in a fresh but daunting landscape. It was a time when humanity was united, not just in purpose but in language, a singular tongue that bridged any divide. They spoke with one voice, fostering a sense of community and shared destiny. Ancient mystery loomed in the air as they attempted to rebuild their lives under the watchful eyes of God. They had learned a harsh lesson about divine punishment, but their unity gave them hope for a brighter future. In these early days, there was a remarkable sense of purpose among the people. They worked together, building homes, planting crops, and re-establishing their lives. This unity wasn't just practical. It was deeply spiritual, a shared commitment to avoid the mistakes of the past. God's punishment had left an indelible mark on their collective memory, making them wary, yet hopeful. They sought to create a world that would honor the divine, avoiding the sins that had once led to their near destruction. This was a time of healing, of collective effort to rise from the ruins and build something lasting. Yet, as time passed, a subtle shift began to occur. The initial harmony and cooperation started to give way to ambition. The people, still united by a single language, began to dream of greatness. They looked at the heavens and wondered if they, too, could reach such heights. This wasn't merely about building a tall structure. It was about asserting their place in the cosmos. They wanted to leave a mark, to ensure their names would be remembered. The desire to build the Tower of Babel was born from this mix of unity and ambition, a desire to touch the divine and prove their worth. The construction of the Tower of Babel began as a grand project, fueled by a shared vision and a common language. Bricks were made, plans were drawn, and the tower began to rise. It was a symbol of human ingenuity and determination, a testament to what could be achieved when people worked together. Yet beneath this cooperative exterior, there was a burgeoning pride, a collective ego that began to overshadow the project's original intent. The ancient mystery of their shared language became both their greatest strength and their Achilles' heel, as it led them to believe they could challenge the divine order. God observed this ambitious project with a mixture of concern and curiosity. The tower's construction was more than just a physical feat. It represented a deeper challenge to divine authority. The people, united in their language and purpose, were on a path that could lead to arrogance and self-sufficiency, traits that had previously invited divine wrath. God's punishment was a distant memory, but its lessons seemed to be fading. This was a critical moment, a crossroads where humanity's destiny hung in the balance, and divine intervention was imminent. The unity of language and purpose among the people was both impressive and dangerous. Their ability to communicate seamlessly allowed them to collaborate in unprecedented ways. They shared ideas, dreams, and ambitions, all without the barrier of linguistic differences. This cohesive force propelled them forward, making the construction of the Tower of Babel a feasible endeavor. But as their confidence grew, so did their pride. The ancient mystery of their shared language, once a gift, now threatened to lead them astray. In their quest to build the Tower of Babel, the people sought to create a monument to their own greatness. They wanted a structure that would reach the heavens, a testament to their ingenuity and determination. This wasn't just a physical challenge, it was a spiritual one as well. They aimed to bridge the gap between humanity and the divine, to prove that they could stand on equal footing with God. This ambition was both inspiring and perilous, as it carried the seeds of their potential downfall. The story of the Tower of Babel is a fascinating glimpse into human nature. It reveals our capacity for cooperation and creativity, but also our propensity for pride and hubris. The people's desire to make a name for themselves was understandable, but it also showed a dangerous overreach. They forgot that their unity and strength were gifts from God, meant to be used for His glory, not their own. This forgetfulness set the stage for the dramatic events that would follow. As the tower rose higher, so did the people's pride. They began to believe that there was no limit to what they could achieve. Their shared language gave them a sense of invincibility, a belief that they could overcome any obstacle. This overconfidence blinded them to the potential consequences of their actions. They didn't see the danger in their ambition, the risk of inciting divine displeasure. The ancient mystery of their unity, once a source of strength, now threatened to become their undoing. The unity of human language and purpose in the post-flood world was both a blessing and a curse. It enabled great achievements, but it also fostered a dangerous sense of self-reliance. The people's attempt to build the Tower of Babel was a bold and ambitious endeavor, but it was also a step too far. They reached for the heavens, forgetting that true greatness lies not in defying God, but in honoring Him. This oversight would soon lead to a dramatic and unforgettable lesson in humility. The people, united in their language and vision, set their sights on an extraordinary goal: to build a tower that reached the heavens. This wasn't just an architectural feat. It was a bold statement of their collective ambition. They wanted to make a name for themselves, to create a monument that would stand the test of time. The Tower of Babel became the embodiment of their aspirations, a project that symbolized their unity and determination. They believed that by working together, they could achieve the impossible and secure their place in history. Bricks were made and stacked with meticulous care, each one a step closer to the sky. The construction site buzzed with activity, a testament to human ingenuity and collaboration. Men and women alike were driven by the same ancient mystery that had united them after the flood. They saw the tower as a beacon of hope, a way to transcend their earthly limitations. Their desire to reach the heavens was both a literal and metaphorical journey, aiming to bridge the gap between the human and the divine. The ambition behind the Tower of Babel was unprecedented. The people wanted to create something that would not only elevate their status, but also protect them from future divine punishment. They feared being scattered across the earth again, and believed that this tower would ensure their unity and safety. This desire for self-preservation and glory was a double-edged sword, as it pushed them to strive for greatness while also sowing the seeds of their downfall. As the tower grew taller, so did the people's pride. They began to see themselves as invincible, believing that nothing could stop their progress. This overconfidence was fueled by their shared language, which allowed them to coordinate their efforts seamlessly. The Tower of Babel was more than just a building. It was a symbol of their collective ego and ambition. They believed that by reaching the heavens, they could assert their dominance and control their destiny. The construction of the Tower of Babel wasn't just about reaching the heavens, it was about defying the limits imposed by God. The people wanted to prove that they were capable of great things, that they could achieve anything they set their minds to. This ambition was both admirable and dangerous, as it led them to challenge the very order of creation. The ancient mystery of their unity became a source of hubris, blinding them to the potential consequences of their actions. Their desire to make a name for themselves was driven by a mix of fear and pride. They wanted to be remembered, to leave a lasting legacy that would ensure their place in history. The Tower of Babel was their way of achieving immortality, a monument to their collective greatness. This ambition, however, was rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding of their relationship with the divine. They believed that their unity and strength came from within, forgetting that it was a gift from God. The people's ambition was matched only by their ingenuity. They developed new techniques and technologies to aid in the construction of the tower, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. This relentless pursuit of progress was driven by their shared vision and language, which allowed them to innovate and collaborate effectively. The Tower of Babel was a testament to human creativity and determination, but it also highlighted the dangers of unchecked ambition. The construction site was a hive of activity, with everyone working towards the same goal. The tower grew taller each day, a visible sign of their progress and unity. This shared effort created a strong sense of community as people from all walks of life came together to contribute to the project. The Tower of Babel was more than just a building, it was a symbol of their collective strength and determination. However, this unity also masked the growing pride and arrogance that threatened to undermine their efforts. As the tower neared completion, the people's sense of accomplishment grew. They believed that they were on the verge of achieving something truly extraordinary, a feat that would secure their place in history. This belief was both a source of motivation and a potential downfall, as it led them to underestimate the importance of humility and gratitude. The Tower of Babel was a testament to what could be achieved through unity and ambition, but it also served as a reminder of the dangers of forgetting one's place in the divine order. As the tower climbed ever higher, God looked down upon the earth with a discerning eye. The sight of the Tower of Babel, a monumental testament to human ambition, piqued his interest. The unity of human language and purpose had allowed the people to achieve remarkable feats, but it also bred a dangerous pride. God's gaze was filled with concern as he observed the people working tirelessly, driven by a desire to reach the heavens. This ancient mystery of their ambition had the potential to lead them astray, challenging the divine order established after the flood. From his heavenly vantage point, God saw not just the physical structure, but the hearts of those building it. He saw their pride swelling with each brick laid, their confidence growing as the tower ascended. They believed that their unity and language made them invincible, capable of defying any divine punishment. This collective ego, born from their shared tongue, was a stark reminder of the fragile balance between human ambition and divine authority. God knew that this unchecked pride could lead to their downfall, just as it had led to the downfall of those before the flood. God's observation wasn't limited to the tower itself. He saw the motivations and desires that fueled its construction. The people wanted to make a name for themselves, to create a legacy that would stand the test of time. They sought to reach the heavens, to assert their place among the divine. This ambition, though impressive, was also deeply flawed. It was rooted in a desire to challenge God's authority, to prove that they could achieve greatness on their own terms. The ancient mystery of their shared language had given them great power, but it also threatened to lead them into perilous waters. The construction of the tower was a clear sign of the people's growing pride. They believed that their unity and language gave them the power to achieve anything, even to reach the heavens. This overconfidence was dangerous, as it blinded them to the potential consequences of their actions. God saw this unfolding and understood that it was time to intervene. The people's ambition was admirable, but it needed to be tempered with humility and reverence for the divine. Without these, their efforts would ultimately lead to their ruin. As God watched the tower rise, he reflected on the lessons of the past. The flood had been a severe punishment for humanity's sins, a reminder of the importance of humility and obedience. Yet, Here were the people once again, teetering on the brink of arrogance. The unity of their language and purpose had given them great strength, but it also made them susceptible to the same mistakes. God's punishment loomed as a necessary response to their hubris, a way to remind them of their place in the divine order. God's concern was not just for the physical tower, but for what it represented. The Tower of Babel was a symbol of human pride and ambition, a monument to their desire to transcend their earthly limitations. It was a challenge to divine authority, an assertion that they could achieve greatness without God's guidance. This mindset was dangerous as it led them to believe that they were self-sufficient, capable of controlling their own destiny. God knew that this belief needed to be corrected before it led to their downfall. In observing the people, God saw both their potential and their flaws. They had the ability to achieve great things, but they also had the propensity for pride and arrogance. The unity of their language had allowed them to come together and build something extraordinary, but it also made them overconfident. God understood that this overconfidence needed to be addressed, not out of cruelty, but out of love and concern for their well-being. The ancient mystery of their shared language had given them power, but it also required them to exercise humility and reverence. The sight of the tower, reaching ever higher into the sky, was a stark reminder of the delicate balance between human ambition and divine authority. The people believed that they could reach the heavens, that their unity and language made them invincible. This belief was a dangerous illusion, one that needed to be shattered before it led to their ruin. God's observation of the Tower of Babel was not just about the physical structure, but about the hearts and minds of those building it. Their ambition, though impressive, needed to be tempered with humility. As the tower grew, so did God's resolve to intervene. He understood that the people's ambition, while admirable, was leading them down a dangerous path. The unity of their language and purpose had given them great strength, but it also made them susceptible to pride. This pride threatened to lead them astray, to challenge the divine order established after the flood. God knew that it was time to act, to remind the people of their place in the grand scheme of creation. The ancient mystery of their shared language had given them power, but it also required them to recognize their limitations. God's observation of the Tower of Babel was a pivotal moment in human history. It highlighted the delicate balance between ambition and humility, between human effort and divine guidance. The people, united by a single language, had achieved great things, but they had also grown overconfident. God's concern for their well-being led him to consider a drastic intervention. The unity of their language and purpose, while a source of strength, had also become a source of pride. This pride needed to be addressed, not out of punishment, but out of a desire to guide them back to the right path. God decided it was time to step in. Observing the people's pride and ambition, he knew that their unified language had become both their greatest asset and their greatest downfall. The ancient mystery of their shared tongue, which had initially brought them together, now threatened to lead them into chaos. To prevent this, God chose to intervene in a way that would remind them of their place in the grand scheme of things. His plan was simple yet profound: to confuse their language, scattering them across the earth and thereby curbing their collective pride. The decision to confuse the human language was not taken lightly. God understood the implications of such an action. By introducing different languages, he would disrupt their unity and halt the construction of the Tower of Babel. This was not merely a punishment, but a necessary step to prevent their ambition from spiraling out of control. The once unified people who had worked so harmoniously together would now find themselves unable to communicate. The ancient mystery of their shared language would be shattered, replaced by a cacophony of tongues that would lead to their scattering. God's intervention was swift and decisive. One moment, the people were working together seamlessly. The next, they were plunged into confusion. As they tried to continue their work, they found themselves unable to understand one another. The once clear instructions and shared plans became a jumble of incomprehensible sounds. Panic and frustration set in as the realization dawned on them their unified language was gone. The tower, which had been a symbol of their collective ambition, now stood as a testament to their divided state. The confusion of languages had an immediate and profound effect. The people, unable to communicate, could no longer collaborate on the tower. Their grand project ground to a halt as misunderstandings and miscommunications abounded. What had once been a well-coordinated effort now descended into chaos. The ancient mystery of their unity, which had been their strength, was now their undoing. God's intervention had effectively put an end to their ambitious plan, reminding them of the limits of their power. As the confusion spread, the people began to scatter. Unable to work together, they had no choice but to seek new places to settle. Families and groups who could still understand one another moved away, searching for new lands where they could start afresh. The Tower of Babel, once a bustling hub of activity, was abandoned, left incomplete as a stark reminder of their thwarted ambition. The scattering of people across the earth marked a new chapter in human history, one defined by diversity and the multiplicity of languages. God's intervention at Babel was a turning point. It was a powerful reminder that human ambition, while admirable, must be tempered with humility and respect for the divine. The confusion of languages served as a check on their pride, ensuring that they would remember their place in the cosmic order. The ancient mystery of their shared language had given them power, but it also required them to acknowledge their dependence on God. The scattering of people across the earth was a lesson in humility, a reminder that true greatness lies in recognizing one's limitations. The impact of this divine intervention was felt far and wide. As people moved to new lands, they carried with them the memory of Babel. The story of the tower and the confusion of languages became a part of their collective consciousness, a cautionary narrative about the dangers of pride and overreach. This shared memory helped to shape the cultural and spiritual identity of diverse communities. The ancient mystery of their unity, now fragmented, served as a reminder of the delicate balance between human ambition and divine authority. In scattering the people and confusing their language, God also introduced diversity. Different languages led to the development of distinct cultures, each with its own unique identity and way of life. This diversity was a gift, a way to enrich the human experience and foster creativity and innovation. The scattering was not just a punishment, but an opportunity for humanity to grow and evolve. The story of the Tower of Babel and God's intervention is a profound exploration of the interplay between unity and diversity. It highlights the importance of humility and the dangers of unchecked ambition. By confusing the language and scattering the people, God reminded humanity of their place in the grand scheme of things. The ancient mystery of their shared language was a powerful force, but it needed to be balanced with a respect for divine authority. The scattering of people across the earth ensured that this balance would be maintained. God's intervention at Babel was a powerful and necessary act. It served as a reminder that while human ambition and unity can achieve great things, they must always be guided by humility and respect for the divine. The confusion of languages and the scattering of people were not just a punishment but a vital lesson in the importance of balance. The ancient mystery of their unity had been a source of great strength, but it also needed to be tempered with wisdom and reverence for God. In the end, this intervention ensured that humanity would continue to grow and thrive, albeit in a more diverse and humble manner. The Tower of Babel stands as a powerful symbol in biblical lore, rich with implications that extend far beyond its historical and architectural significance. It represents the heights of human ambition and the dangers that come with it. The tower was more than just a structure. It was a monument to human pride and the desire to usurp divine authority. The ancient mystery of their unified language allowed them to undertake this grand project, but it also led to their ultimate downfall. In attempting to reach the heavens, they overstepped their bounds, challenging the natural order established by God. From a theological perspective, the Tower of Babel serves as a cautionary story about the limits of human ambition. It illustrates the consequences of pride and the importance of humility. The people's desire to make a name for themselves and their attempt to reach the heavens was seen as an act of defiance against God. The ancient mystery of their shared language was a gift, but it also came with the responsibility to use it wisely. By confusing their language and scattering them, God reminded humanity that true greatness lies in acknowledging and respecting divine authority. The symbolic meaning of the Tower of Babel extends to the theme of unity and diversity. Initially, the unified language and purpose of the people allowed them to achieve remarkable feats. However, this unity also led to an over-reliance on their own abilities, fostering a sense of invincibility. The confusion of languages introduced diversity, which, while challenging, also enriched human culture and experience. This shift from unity to diversity highlights the importance of balance, showing that while unity can be powerful, it must be tempered with humility and respect for God's plan. In the context of divine authority, the Tower of Babel underscores the need for humility and reverence. The people's ambition to reach the heavens was a direct challenge to God's sovereignty. Their failure serves as a reminder that human efforts, no matter how grand, are ultimately subject to divine will. The ancient mystery of their unity was both a blessing and a test, one that they ultimately failed. The scattering of people and the confusion of languages were not just punitive measures, but corrective actions to restore balance and remind humanity of their place in the divine order. The story of the Tower of Babel also carries implications for the nature of human cooperation and conflict. The initial unity of language enabled unprecedented cooperation, but it also set the stage for conflict with divine authority. The scattering of people and the introduction of multiple languages led to a more complex and varied human experience. This diversity, while challenging, also fostered innovation and cultural development. The ancient mystery of their unity gave way to a new reality, where cooperation and conflict coexisted, shaping the course of human history. The theological interpretations of the Tower of Babel often focus on the themes of pride and divine punishment. The people's attempt to build the tower was seen as an act of hubris, a challenge to God's authority that could not go unchecked. The confusion of languages and the scattering of people were necessary to curb their pride and restore humility. The ancient mystery of their shared language was a double-edged sword, providing both unity and the potential for overreach. God's intervention ensured that humanity would remember the importance of humility and respect for divine authority. Symbolically, the Tower of Babel also represents the human desire for immortality and legacy. The people wanted to create a monument that would stand the test of time, a testament to their greatness. This desire for a lasting legacy is a common human trait, but it can lead to pride and ambition that challenge divine order. The ancient mystery of their unified language allowed them to dream big, but it also set them on a path toward their downfall. The story serves as a reminder that true immortality and legacy are achieved through humility and reverence for God. The implications of the Tower of Babel extend to the theme of communication and understanding. The confusion of languages introduced barriers to communication, making it more difficult for people to work together. This shift from a single language to many highlights the challenges and opportunities that come with diversity. The ancient mystery of their unity, once a source of strength, became a source of division. However, this division also fostered new ways of thinking and interacting, enriching the human experience and contributing to the development of diverse cultures and societies. In examining the symbolism of the Tower of Babel, it's clear that the story is full of rich lessons. It explores the tension between unity and diversity, the dangers of pride and ambition, and the importance of humility and respect for divine authority. The ancient mystery of their shared language was both a gift and a challenge, one that the people ultimately failed to meet. God's intervention ensured that these lessons would be remembered, shaping the course of human history and development. The Tower of Babel is a timeless story that continues to resonate today. Its themes and lessons are relevant to contemporary discussions about ambition, unity, and diversity. The ancient mystery of their unified language and the subsequent confusion serve as powerful metaphors for the human condition. By reflecting on this story, we can gain a deeper understanding of our own ambitions and the importance of balancing them with humility and respect for divine authority. The implications and symbolism of the Tower of Babel offer valuable insights into the nature of human cooperation, conflict, and the quest for greatness. The story of the Tower of Babel offers enduring lessons that are still relevant in today's world. One of the most significant reflections is on the dangers of unchecked ambition. The people of Babel sought to make a name for themselves by reaching the heavens, a goal that ultimately led to their downfall. This ancient mystery of human pride serves as a timeless warning about the consequences of overreaching. In a modern context, it reminds us to balance our aspirations with humility, recognizing that there are limits to what we can achieve on our own. In today's globalized society, the story of Babel also highlights the importance of communication and understanding. The confusion of languages at Babel symbolizes the challenges we face when trying to communicate across cultural and linguistic barriers. The ancient mystery of diverse tongues can be seen in the modern world, where miscommunication and misunderstanding can lead to conflict. Reflecting on Babel encourages us to strive for better communication, fostering empathy and cooperation in our increasingly interconnected world. The scattering of people from Babel can be viewed as a metaphor for human migration and the spread of cultures. This ancient mystery of dispersion led to differences of cultures and languages that we see today. Modern reflections on this story remind us to celebrate diversity and recognize the value that different cultures bring to our global community. It prompts us to see the scattering not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for growth and enrichment. Theological reflections on Babel often focus on the theme of divine authority. The people's attempt to build the tower was an act of defiance, challenging God's supremacy. The ancient mystery of their ambition serves as a lesson in humility, reminding us that true greatness comes from acknowledging and respecting divine authority. In a modern context, this can be interpreted as a call to align our ambitions with higher principles, ensuring that our pursuits are guided by ethical and moral considerations. The story of Babel also prompts reflections on the nature of unity and division. Initially, the people's unified language allowed them to achieve great things, but it also led to their downfall. This ancient mystery of unity and division is relevant today as we navigate the balance between global cooperation and cultural diversity. Reflecting on Babel encourages us to find ways to work together while respecting and valuing our differences. It reminds us that unity should not come at the expense of individuality, and that diversity can be a source of strength. In the realm of personal development, the Tower of Babel serves as a powerful metaphor for the importance of humility and self-awareness. The people's pride in their collective achievements led them to forget their limitations. The ancient mystery of their downfall reminds us to stay grounded and mindful of our weaknesses. In today's world, this translates to a call for humility in our personal and professional lives, encouraging us to recognize that true success comes from balancing ambition with a healthy sense of our limitations. The story of Babel also invites reflections on the role of language in shaping our reality. The confusion of tongues at Babel changed the course of human history, demonstrating the profound impact of language on communication and understanding. The ancient mystery of linguistic diversity highlights the power of words and the importance of mindful communication. In a modern context, this reminds us to choose our words carefully and strive for clarity and compassion in our interactions with others. Babel's narrative can also be seen as a reflection on the human desire for immortality and legacy. The people wanted to build a tower that would stand as a testament to their greatness. This ancient mystery of seeking a lasting legacy is a common human trait, but it also serves as a cautionary narrative about the dangers of placing too much importance on worldly achievements. Reflecting on Babel encourages us to focus on building legacies that are meaningful and aligned with higher values. Modern reflections on the Tower of Babel also touch on the theme of technological and scientific advancement. The people's attempt to build the tower can be seen as an early example of human innovation and engineering. The ancient mystery of their ambition serves as both an inspiration and a warning. In today's world, it reminds us to pursue advancements with a sense of responsibility and ethical consideration, ensuring that our innovations serve the greater good rather than fueling pride and competition. Finally, the story of Babel invites us to reflect on the nature of human cooperation and conflict. The initial unity of the people allowed them to achieve remarkable things, but their pride led to division and scattering. The ancient mystery of their journey from unity to diversity serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between collaboration and competition. In the modern world, reflecting on Babel encourages us to foster a spirit of cooperation while being mindful of the potential for conflict, striving to build a more harmonious and understanding global community. Topic 8. Conclusion. As we reach the end of this fascinating journey through the story of the Tower of Babel, it's clear that this ancient story holds profound lessons for us today. The audacious plan to build a tower reaching the heavens was a testament to human ambition and unity, but it also served as a powerful reminder of the dangers of pride and overreach. Reflecting on this story, we are reminded that while striving for greatness is part of the human spirit, it must be tempered with humility and respect for divine authority. Have you ever considered how our diverse languages shape our world today? The scattering of people and the confusion of tongues at Babel introduced a rich scenario of cultures and languages, each contributing to the global mosaic. This diversity, while challenging, is also a source of strength and creativity. It encourages us to embrace our differences, fostering a spirit of empathy and cooperation in an interconnected world. The Tower of Babel also prompts us to reflect on the nature of human cooperation. Initially united by a single language, the people achieved remarkable feats, yet their pride led to division and scattering. This story serves as a cautionary narrative about the balance between unity and diversity. It challenges us to find ways to work together while respecting and valuing our unique identities. In our modern world, the themes of the Tower of Babel resonate strongly. Technological advancements and scientific discoveries continue to push the boundaries of what we can achieve. But as we pursue progress, we must do so with a sense of responsibility and ethical consideration. The story of Babel reminds us that true greatness comes from balancing ambition with humility and aligning our efforts with higher principles. So, what lessons can we take from Babel as we navigate our lives today? How can we balance our aspirations with humility and our unity with respect for diversity? These questions invite us to reflect on our own ambitions and the ways we interact with others. By learning from the past, we can build a future that honors the divine, celebrates diversity, and fosters cooperation. As we close another chapter together, do you feel a void in your spiritual life despite your efforts? You might wonder how to draw closer to God amid daily demands. The answer is closer than you think. In the comments, you'll find our ebook, 30 Habits to Draw Closer to God. This practical guide is the result of deep research and spiritual experiences compiled to help you strengthen your connection with God in a meaningful and lasting way. Imagine adopting habits that not only transform your routine, but also enrich your spiritual life. Think of the peace and fulfillment of living each day in alignment with divine teachings. This ebook offers a clear and accessible path to renew your faith and find purpose. Join those who are experiencing a fuller and more rewarding life through simple yet powerful habits. The spiritual transformation you seek is within your reach. Check it out now in the comments and start your journey toward a deeper connection with God. Remember, a vibrant and true spiritual life is not a distant dream. With 30 habits to draw closer to God, you are one step closer to making it a reality. Begin today to write your new story of faith and devotion.